In this video, we are looking at fractions. We are beginning Unit 2 in this workbook. This is the Math Tabe Tutor Practice, Book 1, and we're up to Unit 2. So you can see in the table of contents, the Unit 2 section. I want to call your attention to two things here. Well, it's one thing, but it's in there twice. Notice this little calculator. What this means is that for those two lessons, you can use the calculator. And I'm using the Casio FX260. Now today, we're not supposed to use the calculator. For those of you preparing for HiSET, I am going to show you some things there. But notice that in this unit, we can use the calculator some. In the last unit, we could not. So let's turn to page 18 and get started. If you're doing the Tabe, if you're doing the HiSET, you can use the calculator. So you can follow along both ways, and I will show you the calculator steps on some of these. Alrighty, number 1. There are 5 cups of milk in a jug. Evan needs 2 cups of milk for his cereal. How many bowls of cereal can Evan make? Well, in its simplest form, this problem looks like this. He has 5 cups, and he needs 2 for each bowl. This is a division problem. He's taking the 5 cups that he has, and he's dividing that up into bowls of cereal. This is called an improper fraction. It's top-heavy, meaning the numerator is bigger than the denominator. And if you notice over here in my answer choices, I do not have improper fractions. So we're going to have to convert that improper fraction. But it means exactly the same as 2 divided into 5. 5 divided by 2. So 2 into 5, if you remember, we used our fingers on these. You have 2, 4, 6. 6 is too much. So let's go with the 4. That's 2 times 2. And we get a 4. And that is going to equal 2 1/2. And let me show you why. Here is the big, tall 2. Here is the remainder. And then this is your divisor. So that division problem becomes this mixed number. It is equal to 5/2. All of that is the same thing. We're just putting it in different forms depending on the form that we're asked to find. So our answer here is C. He could have 2 bowls and a half a bowl, but he doesn't have enough for that third bowl. 2 1/2 bowls of cereal. Now, those of you who are using the calculator, you need 5 keystrokes to do this problem, and you put it in as the improper. So you're going to say all clear, 5, but you don't want to hit divide because that will give you a decimal answer. Use the fraction key on that calculator, that ABC key. 5 ABC 2 equals, and you'll get something that looks a little weird. It looks like this, but it is the same thing. It is the 2 1/2. Okay, let's look at number 2. Rory has 26 logs. He needs 3 logs to build a fire. So how many fires can Rory build? Well, let's write the improper form. That's 26 thirds. Again, this is called improper. Let's turn that into a division problem. 26 thirds. 3 cannot go into 2, but I'm going to count by threes. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. 27 is too big, so let's back off to the 8th finger and use 24. So this is going to be 8 and 2 thirds. This is the mixed number that equals that improper fraction. They all are equal here. Let me help you understand where I'm getting these. The 8 is this number, the tall number. The remainder goes on top, and the divisor is your bottom number. It'll always match the bottom number of your improper fraction. Okay. So the question is, how many fires can Rory build? I'm sorry, let me give you those high set folks. Let me give you the keystrokes on your Casio. All clear. Put in the improper using the ABC function. Equals, you'll get 8 and 2 thirds. Let me ask you something. Does he have enough logs to make 9 fires? Or can he just do 8? He can only do 8. Now he would have 2 logs left over. That's what that 2 is up there in the top of our fraction. But he can only build 8 fires. Be careful on that one. It's very tempting to put that 9 down, but he doesn't have enough to build the 9. Okay, number 3. There are 2 gallons of water available to water 8 plants. How much water does each plant get? Well, if you take what you have and you divide that into by 8 plants, we don't have an improper fraction this time. We have what's called a proper fraction. So we don't have to go through all of that long division. But you notice that my answer's not here. 2/8 is not one of my choices. We don't have to do the division, but we do need to reduce this fraction to lowest terms. So let me show you how to do that. You're going to take your 2/8 and you're going to divide it by one number. It has to be the same number, top and bottom. And I'm going to use a 2 because other than a 1, which wouldn't help me, a 2 is the only thing that I can use. So 2 into 2 is 1 time, and 2 divided into 8 is 4 times. And that's the answer that we're looking for. They have reduced it to lowest terms. So 1/4 of a gallon per plant. Now those of you who have the calculator, you're lucky. Because when you put that 2/4 into your calculator, so you would say all clear, 2 ABC 4 equals, it's going to give you that reduced form right off. So the calculator will do that one with no problem. Number 4. Rose has 50 flowers. Each customer buys a bouquet of 7 flowers. So which statement is true? Well, 50 divided by 7. So this is an improper fraction. It's top heavy. So we do need to go through the long division to turn that into a mixed number. So 50 divide 7. I have to get as close to 50 as I can without going over. So let's count by 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. That's as close as I'm going to get on that 7th finger. So 7 sevens are 49 with 1 remaining. And that is equal to 7 and 1/7. Let me color them for you. This 7 becomes this 7. This 1 becomes this 1. And this 7 becomes this 7. 7 and 1/7. So what this means is that she has 7 bouquets with 1 rose left. So she has 1 out of the 7 flowers needed for another bouquet, but she doesn't have enough to make the 8th bouquet. So which one of these choices says that? That Rose sells 7 bouquets to 7 people, because each person buys 1. So she sells to 7 people and has 1 rose remaining. And that is D. Be careful with that one, because it messes with your mind just a little bit. You have to be able to find that mixed number and then read that mixed number. And that's not easy to do without a lot of practice. Okay, number 5. Jenny serves equal amounts of oatmeal to 6 children. There are 10 cups of oatmeal in the pot. How many cups of oatmeal does each child receive? All right, so we know that she has 10 cups, and she's dividing that among how many children? 6. Now, those of you with the calculator, you can put it in right there, and you've got it. If you don't have the calculator, you have to take this improper fraction and do the long division on it. Remember what the title of this lesson is. It's relating fractions to division. 6 can't go into 1, and it can only go into 10 one time. 1 times 6 is 6, and that leaves me with 4. So my mixed number that we were trying to find is 1 and 4/6. So you've got 1, 4, and 6. And you look at your choices. And that choice is not there. So what I need to do is reduce my 4/6. Take that fraction on down to its lowest terms. So I'm going to divide both of those by 2. And that gives me 2 into 4 is 2. 2 into 6 is 3. So let's look for 1 2/3. And sure enough, that choice is right here. So sometimes after you get your mixed number, you will have to reduce. Now, if you're using the calculator, you don't have to do that. The calculator will give you 1 2/3 when you put it in there. It's a nice calculator. Number 6. Mike has 28 bags of mulch. He divides the mulch equally among 3 flower beds. How much mulch is added to each flower bed? So the improper fraction is 28/3. Since it's improper, we need to do the division. And 3 can't go into 2. So we need to go to 28 without going over. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 9 is as high as I can go. So that gets me within 1 of that target. So my answer here, the mixed number, is 9 1/3. So we have the 9, and then the 1, and then the 3. 9 1/3. So when you go to answer this question, be careful. How much mulch is added to each flower bed? Well, it's more than 9. But less than 10. Nine 1/3 is between 9 and 10 bags. So the answer to number 6 is A. Between 9 and 10 bags. Alrighty, number 7. John sets stakes 8 feet apart to support a 92-foot fence. Which statement is true? So we know that he has a 92-foot fence. He's staking it 8 feet apart. So let's turn that into a long division problem. Eight will go into 9 one time with 1 left over. And 8 will go into 12 one time with 4 left over. So the mixed number is 11 4/8. 11 4/8. So let's see which choice is true. There is a remainder and John needs to round up, so he needs 9 stakes. That's not true. We know that he needs at least 11 stakes because of that tall number. There is no remainder. John needs 10 stakes. Well, that's not true. There was a remainder. There is a remainder, but John can ignore it. He needs 11 stakes. Maybe. There is no remainder. John needs 12 stakes. Well, there was a remainder, so that was not true. The true one is C. He needs 11 steaks, and that 11th one will bring him to the 92-foot mark. He doesn't have to worry about the remainder. And just for your knowledge, guys, let me show you that you do need to reduce that 4/8. You can reduce that one by 4, which would bring you down to a half. So really 11.5 is the best answer for that mixed number. But we didn't have to do that to solve the problem. It's just good practice to know when you can reduce. Okay, number 8. Ron fills a 44-gallon drum with leaves. He equally fills 9 bags when emptying the drum. How many gallons of leaves are in each bag? Well, I take that 44, divide 9. That's an improper fraction. So let me go to my long division to solve, or not to solve, but to find the mixed number. 9 will not go into 4. So let's take 9 into 44 without going over. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. 45 is just a hair too big. So let's go back to the 4th finger and use the 36. You can borrow here, or you can just subtract in your head, whichever you would rather do. 14 minus 6 is 8. So the mixed number is 4, remainder, divisor. Make sure you're getting that pattern. 4, remainder, divisor. So the answer to number 8 is B, 4 8/9. Okay, number 9. Susan has 31 photographs. She plans to hang an equal number of photographs in each of 5 rooms. Is Susan's plan possible? So we have 31 divide 5. That's an improper fraction, so let's do our long division. 31 divide 5. 5 can't go into 3, so I need to get to 31 without going over. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's as close as I can get. So the mixed number is 6 1/5. 6 1/5. So is it possible for Susan to do that? This means that, well, let me just read the choices. A says, no, Susan can hang 7 photographs in 4 rooms and 6 photographs in the 5th room. B says, no, Susan can hang 6 photographs in 4 rooms and 5 photographs in the 5th room. C says, no, Susan can hang 6 photographs in 4 rooms and 7 photographs in the 5th room. D says no, Susan can hang 5 photographs in 4 rooms and 6 photographs in the 5th room. The answer here is C. She can hang 6 photographs in 4 rooms and 7 in the 5th room. And honestly, I think I want to approach this one a little bit differently. Let me show you something here. This problem is saying that she can do 6 times 4 plus 7. Okay, 6 times 4 is 24 plus 7. That is 31. Let me just do that for all of these. A is saying that she can hang 7 in 4 rooms plus 6 left over. So that would be 28 plus 6 is 34. That's too many. She only has 31. B says that she can do 6 photographs in 4 rooms and add 5 extra. So that's 24 plus 5, that's only 29. That wouldn't use all the photos. This one says that she can do 5 in 4 rooms with 6 left over. So that would be 20 plus 6, or 26. So C is the answer that we want. Number 10. Carol has 7 yards of ribbon. Carol plans to make 12 equally sized bows. What length of ribbon can Carol use for each bow? Well, if she has 7 yards and she wants to divide that 12 ways, there you go. The answer to this one is A. That is a proper fraction, and it will not reduce, it will not simplify. It's proper, so you don't need to do the long division. It's good to go. I like that one. Number 11. Pam has 21 pounds of seeds to divide equally among 14 rows in her garden. How many pounds of seeds can Pam plant in each row? So she has 21, she's dividing it 14 ways. And this is an improper fraction. So I'm going to do my division here. 21 with a 14 on the outside. And 14 cannot go into 2. It can only go into 21 one time, because you would have a remainder of 7. So that mixed number is going to be 1 and 7/14. 1 and 7/14. And that will simplify. If you divide 7 and 14 by 7, you would get 7 into 7 is 1, 7 into 14 is 2, 1.5 would be the simplified version. And that is between 1 and 2 pounds. Answer is B. If you do that one on the calculator, let me see if I can squeeze that in here. You would do all clear 21 ABC 14 equals, and it would give you 1.5. It's going to reduce it for you. So that would again be between 1 and 2 pounds. Andy has 220 books to pack into boxes. Each box holds 24 books. Which statement is true? So I'm going to say 220 divided by 24. That is improper, so let's divide it through. Now on this one, I really can't count on my fingers with 24. I could, but it's going to take me a while. So I'm going to come down here and list some factors of 24. Sorry, some multiples of 24. 24 times 2 is 48. I'm just going to go to 3 of them. And if we need to, we can go further than that. So 372. So let's see if we can solve it with these 3. If not, I'll add more. 24 cannot go into 2 or 22. So I'm going to need to add some more. 24 into 220. So 24 times 4 is 96. 24 times 5 is 120. 24 times 6 is 144. 24 times 7 is 168. Man, they're making me work for this one, aren't they? 24 times 8 is 192. 9 is as high as I can go. And I'm betting that that's going to be the one I need. 9 times 4 is 36. 18, 19, 216. Yep. So it's not exact, but it's as close as I can go. 216. So 20 minus 16 is 4. So this is 9 and 4/24. That would reduce to 9 and 1/4, excuse me. So let's see which of our answers is correct. Andy can fill 8 boxes. No, he can fill at least 9. That one's not, it's not 8. Andy can fill 9 boxes with 1 book remaining. No, he can fill 9 boxes with 4 books remaining. So the answer we want is D. So in this case, reducing it made it a little bit harder to answer. Answer to number 12 is D. Number 13. Each day, a zookeeper divides 2,627 pounds of food equally among 5 elephants. How much food does each elephant eat per day? So 2,627 divided by 5 elephants. And that is definitely improper. So let's take it to the division step. And I can count this one on my fingers. 5 won't go into 2, but into 26 it will go 5 times. That is 25. 1 left, bring down the 2. 5 into 12, that would be 5, 10, 15 is too big, so let's go to the second finger, and that is 10. And bring down the 7. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 is too big. So let's go back to the 5 with 25, and there would be a remainder of 2. So this mixed number is 525, remainder of 2, divisor of 5. And 2/5 will not reduce. So 525, 2, and 5. And that should be our answer. I'm thinking option C for this one, because it can't be simplified in any way. Pete makes hotel reservations for 825 people. Each suite can accommodate 8 people. So which statement is true? So I have 825 divide 8. That is improper. So let's divide it. And this time each of my fingers is worth 8. And 8 can go into 8 with none left. Bring down the 2. 8 cannot go into 2. 0 8s are 0. Subtract. Bring down the 5. 8 into 25 without going over. 8, 16, 24, 32 is too big. So let's go back to the third finger and use the 24. So the mixed number is 103 and 1 person left over. 103, 1 person left, and an 8 is the divisor. So let's see what these say. A says there is a remainder, but Pete can ignore it. He reserves 103 suites. Well, if you ignore that remainder, somebody won't have anywhere to sleep. So Pete can't just ignore that person. There is a remainder, and Pete needs to round up. So he reserves 104 suites. I like that one, but let's read the others. There is no remainder. I can stop right there because that's not true. There was a remainder. There is no remainder. I can stop right there. That was not the situation. It is B. So that one person may get a suite to himself or herself, but they have to have enough rooms for all of the people. So he would have to round up. Number 15. We're almost there, guys. Bear with me here. A group of 6 friends buys a season ticket package. There are 41 games in the package, which 2 statements are true. Please don't overlook that. 2 statements. So 41 games, 6 friends. That would be 41 divided by 6. And 6 can't go into 4, so we need to go to 41 without going over. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42 is too big. So let's go back to the 6th finger and use the 36. You can borrow here if you need to. That's a remainder of 5. So the mixed number is 6 and 5 over 6. if we need that. We may not need that. But it's still good practice to put those together. Okay, so let's look at the choices. There is a remainder. That is true. So that's one of my answers right there. There is no remainder. That's false. Each friend gets to see at least 3 games. That is technically true, but that's not what they're looking for. I have a problem with that one. Each friend gets to see at least 6 games, but C is technically true. They do get to see at least 3 because 6 is more than 3. I'm not going to say that's false because it isn't, but that's not the choice that they're looking for. Each friend gets to see at least 4 games. Again, that's not what, let me just tell you what they're looking for. I have a problem with this way this one's written. They're looking for this. Each friend gets to see at least 6 games. So there was a remainder, and each person will get to see at least 6 games. It's not my favorite question. I could argue about those answers. B is definitely false. There was a remainder, so that one can be eliminated. Okay, last but not least, we have 8 people are sharing 5 chocolate brownies. How many brownies can each person eat? Well, if I have 5 brownies and I'm splitting them 8 ways, that's a proper fraction. So we don't need to divide it. It doesn't reduce. There's nothing that would divide into 5 and 8 evenly. So the answer is C. 5/8 of a brownie. You have more people than brownies, so everybody will not get a whole brownie. We have to divide those up among the 8 people. Okay, that brings us to the end of this lesson. If you have questions about that lesson, please contact your instructor, and she or he will be happy to help you with those. In the next video, I will be looking at another fraction concept with you. So